my friend. What's going on, brother? Welcome to the Impact Purpose Leadership Podcast. How you doing,
What
brother?
up, what up, what up? I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much, my friend. Well, team, to introduce you guys a little bit to Jean. Jean is a close friend of mine. And Jean, talking to you first, man, I want to thank you. It's an honor and privilege to have you here. But most important, man, this marks a very important piece in this Impact Purpose Leadership podcast journey, which is we've always dreamed of having a roundtable episodes where we invite people to come over, and you're our very first guest, man. So thank you so much
Awesome.
for the
Thank you.
opportunity to be here. Yeah.
Thank you for calling me.
Well, how we do things here in the Impact Purpose Leadership, we're a podcast about business and leadership, but we also understand that behind every successful person lies a human being
Yeah.
who might be a father, a family man who has to take care of their kids on the weekend. And like I said, behind every successful person lies a human being with struggles, with day-to-day things that they have to do. So without further ado, man, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit to the Impact Purpose Leadership team professionally, but also a little bit personally.
Awesome. So my name is Jean Carreiro. I'm Brazilian. I'm 29 years old. I was born here, but my parents are Brazilian. I say that I'm more Brazilian than Americans. If I do say anything wrong in English, I've been just hanging out with Brazilians for a while. But anyways, I am an entrepreneur. I have my own barbering business. I have my own event business. I am a personal trainer. Some say I'm a life coach. Also, I am a father of a 1-year-old. I am a husband. I am a son, and I'm here to talk to all y'all.
Nice, man. Nice. Wow, a man of many talents. You're a barber, you do a little personal training. You're a musician too. I think you forgot to mention about that one, right?
That too.
And let me ask you this question, man. With having so many different areas of focus, musician is one thing, barber is another thing, personal training is another thing. What would you say is like that common denominator that you can combine all these things with?
It's passion.
Wow.
I have passion for all of it.
Wow.
Of course, you'll have stress.
Sure.
With everything you do, I have dedication to do the best that I can do for all of it. But
Wow.
number one, it's passion. I
Wow.
love what I do. I love everything, every step, every level, every goes, every yes. It's exciting. It's a journey. It's a book that I'm writing. Everything
Right.
is just fun. It's not boring. That's for
Sure.
sure.
Awesome. So passion is that common denominator.
Yeah.
Is the reason why you're able to do so many different things, so many different areas, is because that passion. And
Yes.
something I preach is your first step into finding something to be successful is something that you're very passionate for, something that burns your heart, that you love doing, because then you don't get to work one day in your life, right? Because you're actually doing something that you love. But the reason why I brought you here, man, is because of that personal training gig that you got going on. As you know, I also come from the health and wellness industry as well. I've worked at gyms for 10 years of my life. That's where my whole leadership career started. So you're talking to somebody who understands what people go through. But I wanted to bring a professional who is in the field today to kind of pick your brain a little bit, but also break some norms for our listeners who are listening today. Maybe some people aren't getting started on their fitness journey. Maybe some people aren't getting started on that Monday that they keep pushing to next Monday, next month. And my goal here today, man, is to help them with. So my first question to you is, being a personal trainer who you have experienced many people, and a lot of things I used to see at the gym is what we just talked about, is people pushing what needs to be done now to tomorrow. So I want to ask you, why do you think people do that? Why do you think people aren't able to make that first move? They might rationally think, hey, it's time. I need to start this, but something prevents them into starting. And then it's that whole, I'll save it for Monday. Monday comes, next Monday.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts around this, man?
Number one, excuse. We make excuses for everything. Everything that's a little harder for us. In the beginning, it's just like, oh, I don't have a time right now. Maybe I'll wait for next week. Oh, this week work was so busy, so stressful. I'm just gonna stay in for a while instead of just, let's get up. I'm stressed today. Let me release that stress with 20 minutes, 30 minutes of cardio. Let me pick up some weights today and release my stress to that. They rather drink, go out with the friends, or stay home, watch a movie, or do whatever, TikTok. So you lose a lot of time on TikTok, and then
Oh
you look
yeah.
at the time and you be like, oh man, I have no time.
Right.
After
Right.
work, it's just like you there. I've caught myself sometimes doing this. Sometimes I'll go on to Instagram, on TikTok, and look at workout videos, and then once I look at my watch, it's just like, wow, I've been here for like 15 minutes.
Right.
That's
Right.
crazy. So like, I'm excused, have motivation, which you'll be hearing me say that a lot. That's my number one thing. Passion, motivated, dedication. If you're not dedicated, if you're not passionate, and if you're not motivated, a lot of that becomes an excuse for you not to do what you want to do.
Right, right. I understand the human brain a lot, Jean, as a life coach, and something that I preach is your mind. It rationalizes something, but it execute emotionally. So
Yes.
in fitness, you might rationalize thinking, okay, it's time for me to start. Maybe you have your friends telling you it's time for you to start. Maybe you have a mandate from a doctor, and rationally, you need to start. But there's something inside your emotions that's preventing you from getting started. And I want to dig into this TikTok world a little bit, this social media world that we live in. I like to say that unfortunately it's a very toxic environment when it comes to fitness
Yes.
because it makes people think that fitness is about looking a certain type of way. And then you get into Instagram model guys is hard rock abs with huge biceps and girls are big butts showing themselves as much as they can and people want that. But most important,
Yes.
people want that fast and it doesn't
Yes.
exist. So I want to hear your point of view when it comes to the social media in this fitness industry. How do you handle this as a personal trainer who believes in motivation, dedication, and passion for you to see that long-term success?
Like I tell my clients is I'm not gonna say the person's name, but I am pretty sure he'll be okay with me using him as an example. He at the first month that he was working out with me, he's like, "Look, I want to look like this. I'm a public figure. I want to be an influencer. So I need to be looking good." And like the next 3 months, and then after the 4 month, I'm gonna start injecting. And I'm just looking at him. I'm like, okay. And the first week we got like little weights. Second week he just wanted boom, getting more weight. I'm like, calm down, listen to your body. It's not like that. You're not gonna get that body real quick. If you want to start ejecting, whatever, that's a whole different. But if you want to do natural and long term, life term stuff, then calm down. This is the process, step by step. So and then yeah, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. That last week we started working out together. Me and him actually working out, and then he saw me picking up more weight than him. And as a man, like you'd be like, no, why is he picking up more? So he
Right,
tried, and he was getting tired. I was like, listen to your body,
right,
calm down. You don't have to rush into it.
right.
What happened? He got hurt.
Got hurt.
So he stayed 2 weeks without doing all that. You know
Right,
what I mean? So once he came back, his mind completely changed. He was like,
right,
okay, like now I know I have to listen to my body.
right.
It's a process to me to get where I am. And ever since he came back, he just came back stronger, smarter. His technique got better. So
Right,
like it's not that mentality of I need to be a fitness model. It was all about I have to listen to my body. It has to
right,
be health, and then step by step get to where I have to be.
right,
And you won't get there if you're not eating, sleeping well, working out the right way. It doesn't matter if you're running 5 hours a day, working out 3 hours a day. That's not going to get you faster. You're just
right.
going to get tired, and you won't see results.
Journey, right? It's a
Yeah,
journey.
exactly.
There's no shortcuts in life, my friend. It's as simple as that.
Exactly.
This with anything you do, there's a process.
Yeah.
Most will crave the results but few will endure the process. Few people will actually go through waking up 5 in the morning every single day because that's the only time you can work
Yes.
out, or going to the gym at 8 p.m. because you wake up at 5 to go to work. You have to find a time. People got to understand that it's important, that there's a lot of benefits to actually working out. And it's not
Yeah.
about what you look. It's about sleeping more. It's about having more energy. It's you dads, you moms listening to this. It's keeping up with your
Yeah.
kids, right? Why don't you talk to the listeners
Oh,
about
yeah.
that a little bit, since you're a newly father who's in this fitness world, and how it's helped you kind of keep up with the little one.
Yeah, man. So it's funny because that's the main reason I came back to all this, fitness. If I say come back, because I was my whole life it was about soccer, so I was always fit. I could have played like 3-4 games a day without getting tired. I did go to Brazil, tried over there, and then the pandemic hit, and then I just stopped. I was going to the gym, getting some weights, but I never wanted to become like a bodybuilder or whatever,
Sure.
So it stopped. I came back, and I, just getting chubbier and chubbier, more fat. And once I had the kid, it was in June. I looked at myself in the mirror, and he was starting to get up. And I'm like, oh man, soon he'll be running. I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was just like, yo, when this kid is like 4 or 5 and he wants to play on the field, I won't be able to fight with him. So I'm just eating and drinking. I'm not doing any exercise. I'm not moving. I'm not doing anything.
Right.
Once I was like, no, I have to get back to it. And I just came back with like 100%. I did 3 months straight, and then I saw what I did in 3 months with myself. No help, no nutrition. It was all Google, YouTube. And I was like, you know what? I want to get more knowledge. I want to get more knowledge about this stuff. So I went to school, did 4 months in school, got my certificate. It was an in-person thing, and then I just started helping people, and just got some few fathers and mothers got better now. Same situation as me. So I'm just a helper. I want to help. I want to do something that people like. If I can do it, anyone can do it. You know what I mean? So like, especially parents, like when your kid starts moving, getting up, and start running a little bit, you play with them for 5 minutes, it's like, that's tired. Like, I don't want that. I want to get, once he's like 16 or whatever, I want to be running with him. It's like, are you tired already? Come on, you're
playing
16.
soccer with them, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
life comes around at you, and it comes fast.
Exactly. So I want to be that type of father, man.
Nice.
Hopefully, I'm that type of grandfather. That I'm playing. I'm talking about lifestyle.
Right,
Like,
right.
I want this for life. It's that thing that I say. It takes 21 days to create a habit and 90 days to create a lifestyle.
Wow.
So that's something that like I take it like really serious, that after those 90 days, like I want this to become a lifestyle. The way I eat, I weigh my food, I want that to become a lifestyle because that's good for me,
I think people need to realize that every decision you make in life, there's gonna be wins and there's gonna be losses. There's gonna be things that you might give up. And the other side of it is there's always gonna be a price to be paid. And that price might not be monetarily, but that price might be your time. We get back into people are people. You have busy schedule. I totally understand. I have 24 hours a day. Jean has 24 hours a day. John has 24 hours a day. We all have 24 hours a day. But it's what you decide to do with those 24 hours. Oh, Rodolfo, I can't commit because I work 16 hours a day. You still have some hours there. You still can give some things up to prioritize yourself. And I agree with you, man. 21 days. It's interesting. And back in my Orange Theory days, Orange Theory is a brand who really understood this point of the human brain, that it takes time for it to build a habit, to build a routine, and then a lifestyle, which is why, and it's something I've always promoted them on. As soon as you become a member at Orange Theory, that first month you're getting 4 calls, because they want to make sure that you're committed to those goals that you set up to be, that you continue building that habit, building that lifestyle of fitness, because fitness is important, team. And it's something that you have to keep on close to you for the rest of your life. Again, it's not about the physical body, how you look. It's about your feelings. It's about your energy. It's about you sleeping better. And then we get into dieting, which I think it's what? 80% of the work, right?
Yeah.
It's so funny,
We're not
Jean.
talking about chicken and salad. We're not
Right,
talking about that.
right.
That's that doesn't work.
Living a healthy
Yeah.
lifestyle, right? You can put
Yeah.
salad and then drench it with dressing, and you're still gonna get a lot of calories. But what's funny, man, is about a year ago, yeah, almost a year ago, I think last June is when I rejoined the gym. And my goal was I'm going to lift, build my muscle back up, build volume, volume train,
Yeah.
volume train. And then for 1 month, my man, I turned on the dieting. And
No.
recently I posted a picture side by side of Rodolfo in December, just December, and
Yeah.
Rodolfo now. And just my face, you can definitely see how it starts to work. The
Yeah.
human body is amazing, right? And I want to get back to your three little words, which is motivation, dedication, and passion. In specific to passion, I think you get addicted to the gym once you start seeing your results.
One day you're just gonna wake up, right? And you're gonna see a picture of day one and a picture of when you woke up, put it together. It's like, wow,
Wow.
where did this come from? I don't
Right.
see this, you know what
Right.
I mean?
Right.
But
Right.
because of that first picture, that's why I tell a lot of people, you take pictures every week,
Yep.
take pictures, right? You don't have to look at them, just take pictures every Friday.
Right.
Every Friday morning, take pictures. And in the next 90 days, after those 90 days, you're gonna look at it and you'll be like,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah. The human
Wow.
body
And
is really amazing.
yeah, and then going back to the dieting, like, man, I'm that type of person, like, I'm never gonna stop weighing my food. Like,
Right.
it works.
Right.
It works. It's the right amount of calories that you should be eating
Right.
during the day. So the dieting part is very important to know how much protein you're eating, how much carbs you're eating, how much fat you're eating. Well, we're going in deep to like the whole. We will talk about that
But
later.
it is. It is. It
yeah,
definitely
you know,
is. Right. It's about. It's like I said. There's every decision you make. There's gonna be wins and there's gonna be losses. And if you're somebody who loves eating junk food and you decide to start dieting, well, that's gonna be your loss. Your loss is gonna
yeah,
be you have to give up the junk food to stick true to your diet. But
it's a sacrifice.
it's a sacrifice, exactly. And I promise you, as Jean promises you, once you start seeing those results, that first decision that made you feel bad about giving up the junk food, it's not even going to come across your mind anymore. It's not,
Yeah,
because the results are way for you to be excited about yourself. And I talk a lot about this when we set goals. You want to set mini goals, because every time you achieve that mini goal, it's a way for you to motivate yourself into the next step and the next step. I want to get back into your three words, man, because it really touched me, which is motivation, dedication, and passion, right? Is what you believe that you need in order to stick true to the gym, stick true to fitness, a healthy lifestyle. And starting with motivation, how do you believe motivation is built? How does somebody get motivated?
well, I'll talk about my side. My motivation is my kid. My motivation is having a healthier lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get fat. That's my motivation. I don't want to look at myself like I looked at myself in July 27th, 2023, and have that, like, wow, like, look at my picture in 2021 and look at me now, 2023. I don't want that, because I
Sure.
like to keep my past behind me, to the
Sure.
past. So that's my motivation. Is just, pick something that really, like, hits you. Like, oh, I don't want to keep going back to the hospital. I don't want to
Sure.
keep hearing the same thing over and over from my nutritionist. Use that as motivation.
I like that. Find that ick.
Yeah.
Right? Find that ick that you don't want to get back into to spark that motivation. And I always say
Exactly.
motivation is the flame. It's the lighter in lighting your dedication. So into the next question. how do you build dedication?
I try to help my clients as much as I can with the dedication part. I'll sit down with them, I'll make like a plan. Hey, today you're waking up. We're waking up this time. We're going to the gym at this time. You're going to work. You're gonna eat. Like I'll schedule. I'll have a schedule for them.
An agenda. I think it's
Agenda,
very
yes.
important for people to plan your days out, because when you don't have an agenda, and I learned this when I was doing some life coaching courses and business coaching courses, is the moment you don't follow an agenda, it means you're part of somebody else's agenda.
Exactly. Ooh, that was
Let
nice.
that sink in, because it is a
Yeah.
powerful one. And
Yeah.
you answered it right there, my man. I think dedication is created when you're able to set an agenda for yourself. And
Yeah, that was
I
nice.
mean, every single point of your day needs to be in an agenda, because then you look week over week over week over week, and you see that gym time every single day there. And then that's because the motivation has sparked, that dedication starts to build up. And then we get into passion. I think passion is created with the result. We talked about it. But how do you believe that passion is created?
Passion. It's like you said, seeing the results, just seeing something that you created, and seeing the future for it, right? My events, my music stuff, my barbering stuff. I have a passion to see my future. For
Sure.
example, barber. I told myself I want something that I'm gonna love doing. I started cutting hair. I went to Florida, stayed there for a month, learned what I had to learn, came back, and I started cutting people's hair. And I was like, and what made me happy, what made me love what I was doing, the passion that I was doing, was seeing that people's face and be like, "Oh damn, man, you guys pretty good at this. I look
Right.
good." Seeing that happiness, that gave me passion to keep going and keep doing it. There's people that go to the gym and they're like, they're flexing the third day at the gym, but they're flexing, they're happy, they're motivated, and they're
Right.
up, they're going. So that
That's the
the
passion.
love, that's my passion, is
Sure.
see people happy, see
Sure.
people like me helping others. That like
Sure.
that's a passion that I've always had, that now I'm seeing it. Before I didn't know, but I've
Sure.
always heard people say, "Hey, like, you're good at this, you're good at that." It's now that I'm older and I actually see that I'm feeling good, seeing people feel good.
Right.
And it's just that that gives me goosebumps. That gives me
Right.
I gotta,
Right.
I need
The
more.
results, right? The
Yeah.
results. You get back to the results and everything
Yeah, that's
that
like
you
the
do.
main thing. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. You get motivated by the results. I love it. Cool, my man. Let's get into, well, one more question before we get into our next topic. I want to ask you to talk to maybe somebody who is listening to us and is thinking of starting a career in fitness themselves. They're looking to build a personal training business. Maybe they're getting into personal training right now because they're passionate about helping people like you, Jean. Why don't you tell us, what can they expect? And be real, be raw. What are the struggles that you overcome daily? I want you to be as realist, as raw as you can be, because you can help somebody who's listening to us here.
This is just start. Just start.
Wow. Wow.
Just start. You're gonna hear a lot of no's. You're gonna hear a lot of people laugh. I've heard people say, "But you don't even look like a personal trainer.
Right.
You can't be
Right.
cocky." When you get in this place, like in anything you do, just jump into it, do it. Don't be cocky. Go as humble as possible. Learn as much as possible, and you're still gonna learn every single day. You're gonna learn. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be
Right.
afraid. Every single day at the gym that I work, I ask somebody, "Hey, come here real quick. How do you do this and this? Because I feel like my client's doing wrong. It's wrong. I don't know how to explain it." Man, if they see that you're humble enough to come up and ask, they're gonna answer you. Don't be afraid. Do not be
Right.
afraid. If you're
Right.
afraid, you're already losing. So just to jump in
Wow.
and start.
Wow, my man. You said just start, and that hit me a little bit, because that's my story with this podcast. Us humans, we thrive for perfection, and perfection does not exist. You build your knowledge as you experience that thing, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's getting into personal training, whether it's starting a podcast, whether it's opening your business, you're not going to be perfect at day one, period. And that's
Yeah,
okay. That's
that's awesome.
okay.
That's
The biggest entrepreneurs, the biggest CEOs, Google, Apple, whatever you want to think about, they're not where they are today, yesterday. They
yes.
built that to where they are
And
today.
how many no's that they've
Right.
heard? You know what I
Right.
mean? How many people laughed at them
Right.
while they were doing it? But the thing is, we're in this era. I feel like because we have internet, people are afraid to actually like do what they think, like they believe in. Say, okay, well, if I do this, they might laugh at me.
Right, right. I want
I
you
don't
guys,
care.
here's an invitation for you listeners. I want you guys to watch my first episode to these episodes now, and you're going to see the difference. You're going to see the evolution.
Yeah.
You're going to see the comfortability in me talking more. And I keep saying it's a journey. But what Jean said, it's the nail on the coffin, guys. It's get started. Simply
Yeah.
get started. Build an agenda.
Yes, sir.
Build an
Yes.
agenda and get started. What would you say if you could give some characteristics about a personal trainer, a successful personal trainer? What are some characteristics that individual needs to be successful in this industry?
Caring. So just don't. Hey, here's the workout.
Right.
Oh, you're done? All right, switch. Next one.
Right. Wow.
Like actually be there. Be there for your client because they're paying you to give them just be a good listener. Be open minded because you'll be hearing a lot of things too. Like there's some stuff that you'll be like, okay, I don't want to train this person because they're saying this all the time. Of course, respectfully, you may, hey, like, blah, 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 like, kind of change the subject if you're not liking it. But like for me, I'm a very open minded person, so like I'll hear anything, I'll be like, yeah, it makes sense. But hey, what if you do it like this? And then I see the people's faces change and be like, okay, I'm gonna attack that. And sometimes they'll leave the session and they'll text me and be like, thank you for that talk.
Right.
Like,
Nice.
that's awesome. Actually learn what you're preaching,
Right.
Walk
Lead
the
by
walk,
example. Lead by example.
Exactly.
I like
Walk the walk, talk talk the talk. I haven't heard somebody say that in a while, but
Sure.
I said it.
Sure.
But yeah, it's that lead
Sure.
by example, like you said, be the leader in that 1 hour that you're with that person.
Right. Love it, man. Caring for the client, good listener, open-minded, and lead by example. Something I preach is leadership isn't a position. Leadership isn't a career style. Leadership is simply a lifestyle.
Yes, sir.
What would you say makes a great leader? So you talked about what makes a great personal trainer. But give me some characteristics of a great leader.
I'm going back to the whole motivation, right? So if I feel like being a leader is motivating others, is picking them up when they fall.
Wow.
Not act like I'm gonna swear also, but a bitch, and be like, hi man, like you suck. All right, fine, I'll find somebody else. No. You don't have to find somebody else. You have to do your part as number one and help number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until they can get to being number one, and they have their number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's how life's going. You're not going to be their boss your whole life. You're not going to be their leader your whole life. They're going to be leaders one day too, but they need somebody to lead them to be leaders.
Not recent episodes, but towards the beginnings of the Impact Purpose Leadership journey, I talked a lot about what makes a great leader. To piggyback on picking when they fall, I've used the term here as a mentor. A leader truly is a mentor. That passage that individual has with you, it's for a reason. Everything in this world happens for a reason. And me as the leader, what can I do to make an impactful moment in your life? And I think that goes right with what you said, picking up when they're down. It's teaching them whatever they need to learn in that moment that you have with that individual for them to take on for the rest of their lives. My last question for you is kind of a personal question that I also think can help a lot of people who is growing up, because, Jean, I met you and you met me a whole completely different lifestyle, right, to what we
Yeah.
are today. And that's why I continue to preach that life is a journey. Losing is learning. You must fall down to get back up, but don't stay knocked down. Get your ass back up. So
Yes,
my
sir.
question to you is, if you can give any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Look at us now. You know. But no, like I had two dreams, right? I had two dreams, and one dream, the first dream, as a Brazilian kid, is becoming a professional soccer player. With that, I tried my best, and eventually that, like it didn't happen. But that brought me to where when you met me and how I was lost after soccer, I was like, what am I going to do? I've always liked that the whole teammate type thing, which is helping and playing in the sports and all that. And I was lost. And then my second one was being a father. So
Check.
that like I feel like that was my number one, and soccer
Sure,
was my number two.
sure.
After I saw my kid, I look at him every single day. I'm like, that's definitely my number one. Soccer, I think that was a life lesson. Everything I went through with soccer, I learned how to become a man.
Wow.
The sport helped me become who I am. The losses, falls. I use a lot of stuff in my life kind of as like a sport, like
Right,
lesson type. We made it. We got out of the dark path.
right.
We walked through the dark path and we got
Sure,
out of there.
sure.
So it's okay.
Well, where can people find you if they want to continue to find out about this wonderful leader, this wonderful man, this wonderful father? I know you are building your brand right now. So where can people find you to find these little motivations, get that little spark of fitness, or cut their hair, or go to music?
Whatever,
Where can they find you?
My Instagram, so it's at underscore or underline, one of those two,
One of
underscore
those two.
underline, right? Life with Jean.
Sweet.
So underscore life with Jean. That's where you can hit me up. You can talk, text me. If I don't answer right away, it's because I have a client or I'm asleep. I haven't found my kid, family time. But I'm not gonna ignore you. And let's talk. I'm a nice person. I'm humble
Wow.
enough to like see that you're texting me. So I'm gonna, I'm a DM back. I'm
Sure.
famous, So
Not yet, right? Actually, you already are. We just gotta get the process, get the work in it. It's already written, my man. You just gotta
yeah,
get the
sir.
work behind it, right? Well,
Appreciate it.
team,
Yes.
there you go. Jean Carreiro, great friend of mine, personal trainer, musician, barber, man of many tricks, man of many trades. Follow him so you can find that spark, find that motivation that you might have been looking for in fitness. And this
Yes,
is a
sir.
reminder to you. Are you loving the content that we're putting out? Hit that little like button. Hit that little
Where's it gonna be?
subscribe
Like
button.
right here, right?
Right here, right below here. Hit that little subscribe, share, like, so we can get into the right individuals. Team, thank you so much for tuning into another
Thank you.
podcast. Thank you so much for joining us in this journey. I know what we're going to put out is going to be a lot of gems. So
Yeah, I
thank you,
can't
my
wait,
friend.
man. Thank you. Thanks for inviting me. Thank you. I'm the first one,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So I'm
yes.
happy I'm your first.
Yes, sir.
But
All right, team. Peace and love, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Take care.